Okay, so welcome to the lift tow training for the aftermarket sales reps. This is 2022 and we're standing here in front of a Toyota heavy-duty adjustable wheelbase forklift, which is part of your stock for demo and soon-to-be rentals, I'm assuming. But we want to do a quick walk-around, brief description of features and benefits, and we'll start with this being a 2535 adjustable counterweight truck, meaning that it will maintain 25,000 pound capacity, and the counterweight will actually extend out to increase that capacity up to 35,000 pounds. That's at a 24-inch load center, and we'll get more into that later. But this comes standard with 8-foot forks and actually a lifting boom for riggers and heavy machinery movers, which we'll get into a little bit later as far as the boom. These forks are easily removed within about 10 minutes with one person. Basically, there's a stand that the boom's on that these forks will also rest on, and once positioned correctly, these two pins on each side will slide out for a quick release of these forks. It makes it much easier to switch from the boom to the forks for different applications. This truck is equipped with a side shift fork positioner, so you'll have your four-way hydraulics, your up and down, your forward and back tilt, your side shift, and then these forks will actually move in and out like a fork positioner. So standard on these trucks is typically a two-stage FV mast from the 2535. The next size up is a 40-60, and then we have a 60-80 option depending on what your riggers need. These are cushion tire trucks, so all indoor use. This is for a very slow, methodical piece of equipment versus your standard cushion tire truck, which are used for more heavy duty. So when you get into riggers, machinery movers, you may get 500 hours a year, you may get up to 1,000. I have some applications that have had them for a year and only have 50 hours on them. So we'll get into also some of the industries that use these, like your machinery movers, your heavy rigging companies that will come in, injection molding companies that change dies, so and then any kind of industrial application where they put in presses or they use presses and have to change dies and things like that. So this truck does have free lift, so you'll get a little bit of a rise in the forks prior to the mass extending. Comes standard with front headlights. Your hydraulic hoses over here are what we change over for use for the boom, which we'll get into that with the boom. So coming around to the side, you do have a tilt steering wheel, large handles for a 3-point entry. Your seat is a mechanical seat, but it does have the adjusting armrest so that you can easily enter it and adjust the column to your preference. Comes with standard electric horn, and this is a two-way hydraulic. Forward and reverse is hydrostatic. So for this truck to start, it has to be in the neutral position. So when we start this truck, we recommend that you keep your foot off the pedal so that it maintains in the neutral position. Your levers are easily located right on the side. The first one is your up and down. The second is the tilt. Your third is your side shift, and your fourth is your fork positioner. To the right of that, there's a knob that is your emergency brake. And so you'll pull up on that to set it and push down on it to release it. As you turn the key on, there's a 7-inch display over here on this side. And this 7-inch display has everything from capacity calculators to diagnostics, your owner's manual, and a lot of information integrated within that system so that it makes it easier for your technicians to diagnose any issues. But you can also, 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 You can also get in and choose the number of slabs. The number of slabs that you have are the counterweights that are removable off back. You can put in the position that your counterweight is extended to, what your attachment is, whether it's forks or the boom, and then calculate what your load center is based off of what you're lifting, and it will tell you what this lift is capable of doing. Let's shut that off. To the right of the seat are also your buttons for extending the frame, for increasing your RPMs, your transmission speed, and then your fan, operator's fan. So you got a camera system on this truck. So up here that's where that screen is located. So the reverse is on, obviously in reverse, and if you have the forward, it would come on with the forward. This truck is also equipped with safety lights. You saw from the side the red zone lights. It's something we definitely recommend for safety, for pedestrian safety. This lift actually has an available remote control as well, which this one does not have. Does it?
It's got it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But there is a remote control available that controls every feature of this truck. It's well worth it if you have limited personnel, where, say, instead of having 2 or 3 people to spot, you can actually stand next to this truck and control it completely with remote control. This is a dual fuel truck. It runs off gasoline and propane. Most companies will use liquid propane, but there are some cases where a rigging company, if you're in doing a job and you run out of propane, you can switch it to gasoline and finish your job without having to wait to switch out a tank. Fire extinguisher, obviously, for your safety. There are rigging points on each side of this truck for strapping it down when you're moving. Coming around this way, you can see where the camera is located, the strobe light, and then right below the strobe light is your backup alarm. This also has a reverse blue light and a rear work light. On the various trucks that we have, the 2535 has these 6 slabs that are all 1,120 pounds each. They each look like this and stack on top of each other, and they're removable with a small, say a cushion 3,000 pound truck. So the advantage to this is that if you know you're going to do a job and you know the capacity and you don't need all this extra weight sitting on the truck, you can actually remove them and just take to the job how many you actually need for the capacity. And then they're stackable. The other advantage is because the heavier these trucks are and you need permits to go down the road, you can actually remove some of the counterweights and take them on a separate load so they don't have to get special overweight permits or to keep it within the limits of what your trucks can haul. The propane tank is located on this side. Swings out for easy removal. You've got a pre-cleaner on this truck as well to capture any debris or dust that comes, from the air. And there are several different sections to get in here to access for service and see what your hydraulic oil levels are and everything. So. But you can see you can easily access the panels to get in and check your fluids. Okay, we'll go around and we'll show you how to operate the unit as far as extending the counterweight out so that you are prepared to show that when the time comes.
Whereabouts is the front camera? You said there was a front as well?
Well, there's one available, but it's not equipped on this. So if you all stand off to the side, then because this counterweight's going to extend out. If I can find the seatbelt. Turn the key on. You'll wait until the screen lights up. get it fired up, and then we'll show you how this counterweight extends. There's a chassis pin lock that unlocks this, and it's located right here on the side. So you'll pull this. If it, I'll turn that off. So this chassis pin lock's on the side here, all right, and you're gonna pull it out to release. If it feels like it's stuck, then you just need to retract the frame, bring it back in, because it could have just been locked out. So. Gonna pull the lever out and push the button that says extend frame. You always want to extend this frame with the wheels straight, so that it obviously extends going out and doesn't try to turn the truck, or it'll cause a lot of stress on the truck if you have the tires turned. So, and then back in with the frame extended, you can get into your capacity calculator, and that's where you want to put in how many counterweights you have on. How far your extension is, which right now it's at 36 inches. We have the forks on the calculator, and then what the load center is, and it tells us that the capacity calculator on this truck is 36,200 pounds. If you push it out to a 36-inch load center, it changes to 28,900 pounds. And at a 48-inch load center, it reduces to 24,000 pounds. So that will give you a good idea of what you're lifting and what your rated capacity is.
So I just want to show you a couple things to check, that you can check and want to maintain. First thing is your oil level for the hydraulic tank. And we have a sight gauge, and it tells you the max level there, but you don't want to service that. You want the truck to be operating temp, so you want to operate the truck for about 30 minutes before servicing that, because if it's cold, it could actually not be in the sight glass, and we add oil to it, then it could overfill. The other things are inside the tank as well. The return filter, and also your vent. Those are serviceable items, and I've got this pointed out in the presentation in the classroom too. So the other thing that we have built on every truck is a multi-gauge, and you can see it right there in the center of the operator housing there. It's a 6-position dial, and we can actually pull pressure readings from throughout the circuit of the truck and diagnose the truck from those values there. And then the last thing I wanted to point out, what we have are 2 other things in the display. Is if you go to the fuse relays, turn that off. I pulled a relay or a fuse, and you see it's flashing red. That means that the fuse is not in there, or it's blown, and it tells you if a relay is not turned on as well. So it becomes a diagnostic tool as well. And then one other thing too, if you go to the library menu, we have the operator's manual, hydraulic schematics, electrical schematics, service manuals, all that's already preloaded to the display. So if we want to, I'll pull up the electrical schematic that's a little smaller. It does take a minute to load. So It does not pinch the zoom. You have to press plus or minus. And then it takes a minute for it to reload. So, well. I'll try a different menu. There you go. It's just taking too long for the electrical to pull up. So, but you can see the hydraulic schematic, so the technicians will have it available right here on the screen. Let me boom back down. So it's going to go right here.
On that side?
Yeah. Yep, so now we'll insert the pry bar with the roll pin. We'll turn it towards the back. We'll slip it up inside the hole and twist. Now we'll put this underneath. So we're lowering, pushing the boom up. So we have those open slots that we can put this bar in. Now we'll raise the boom. Now we can raise the intermediate boom.
So what you're going to get is 246 inches of lift height off of this boom. The 4060 goes to 306 inches and the 6080 goes to 322 inches. And that's how you get your extended lift height if you have a machine, or if you're trying to take something off the truck where you have to lift that boom higher.